Everybody, and welcome back to another One of Everything Wednesdays. I am your host, MrBevers. That's right, we're back with the final episode of Flints, Cards and Collectibles, located in Kitchener, Ontario. Right, they moved, or I believe they were in the middle of moving. I mentioned it in the last video. I don't know if they've actually moved yet, but they are moving to a more downtown core location, which is going to be great for them, and hopefully awesome for the community. So let's hope that went smoothly for them, and that all is well. So we've got, I believe, 8 packs this week, right? Yeah, we're starting with Eldritch Moon, then Shadows over Innistrad, then Oath of the Gatewatch, then Magic Origins, Dragons of Tark, Born of the Gods, Pharos, and Gatecrash. So we've got some pretty cool stuff that we could open up this week. So let's see what we find, right? All right, first up, Eldritch Moon. Now this was the set where you could, if you get 8 commons, you'd have either an additional flip rare card or a foil. So let's count. Okay, so no additional flip or foil, unfortunately. But we did get a Rise from the Grave, which is pretty nice. And we got an Incendiary Flow, Liliana's Elite, and our rare is an Identity Thief. There you go. Just a lot of text on an 0-3 for 4. But, so whenever it attacks, you may exile another target non-token creature. If you do, Identity Thief becomes a copy of that creature until end of turn. Return the exiled card to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. So there you go. And we do get a flip card, right? So we'll put this, make sure that this is in shot here. We get a Grizzled Angler as our flip card, and then just a swamp, and then just an insect token. It's a pretty cool insect token, though. Nice little basic swamp there. All right. Shadows of Innistrad was the same way, so it could have, if it had 8 commons, it would have an additional rare or flip. Okay, so we've got 8, which means we have an additional flip or a foil in this pack, which is pretty nice. Stensia Masquerade, Cult of the Waxing Moon, Indulgent Aristocrat, good old aristocrats, eh? Vampires, nice, with a sack outlet, sweet. And ooh, Thalia's Lieutenant. This was an all-star in this standard format. There was a lot of green-white human decks going around and tokens and things like that. And this card was awesome for those decks. So it's a 1/1 for 2. But when it enters the battlefield, you put a 1/1 counter on each other human you control. And then whenever another human enters the battlefield under your control, you put a 1/1 counter on Thalia's Lieutenant. So it gets big and it makes your board bigger, which is pretty cool. And it's only 2 mana. So that's pretty nice. We got a Convicted Killer, and I don't think, maybe I just miscounted, because look, there's no foil or flip here. But we did hit a pretty nice rare, so we got a Wolf token and a checklist card. All right, Oath of the Gatewatch. Now, for those of you watching my other videos, you'll know that on Mondays, we're doing Masterpiece Mondays, which right now we're opening up a whole bunch of these. How hilarious would it be to open up an expedition out of this pack? I think it would be pretty funny. Oh, we got a nice waist, though. Sweet. We can add that to the patron pile. We got a Null Collar, Nissa's Judgment, Unity of Purpose, and oh, how about a Nissa? All right. It's not like one of the like higher end cost planeswalkers for value or anything like that, but it's still a planeswalker. Sweet. I'll add it to the patron pile for sure. Who doesn't like getting a walker occasionally, right? And then we got a nice full art swamp and an elemental token. Sweet. So we're hit 1 mythic so far out of 3 packs, and it was a walker. So that's pretty nice. Magic Origins here. So we're gonna get another Baby Jace, right? Because we've already opened 2 Baby Jaces in our One of Everything, and we've given them both away now. So we need another. We need to recoup so we can put another one into the patron pile. I think that's fair, right? Maybe a foil Baby Jace. Let me take that. I'll take that. Zendikar Incarnate. Clash of Wills, Bounding Crisis, and our rare, Caves of Koilos, Koilos? Caves of Koilos. That's what I want to say. That's what I want to say. And not a bad little rare. Nothing super exciting, but it is going to go in the patron pile for sure. And no foil. unfortunately. So no Baby Jace and no foil Baby Jace, but we got our first garbage token. Yeah, all right. Yay, our first garbage token. Dragons of Tark here. So what can we see at a Dragons of Tark here that we want to see? I guess it's like the Monastery Mentor. Is that the one that's like the high price one out of this set? I can't remember, to be honest. Press the Advantage. Draconic Roar. Bell Toll Dragon. And Den Protector. Wow, this was a standout card in Standard at the time too. This card's great. So it's a 2/1 for 2, but you can morph it. And then it only costs you 2 to unmorph it. And when you unmorph it, it's Megamorph. So it gets a 1/1 counter, so it becomes a 3/2. And when you turn it face up, you can return a card from your graveyard to your hand, which is pretty sweet. It saw a lot of play in Standard as well. We got a basic and our second garbage token. Basic Swamp and a second garbage token. I think the Den Protector, I don't know if it's worth anything, but I would imagine that it is still worth $1 or $2. So that's pretty nice. I'll double check the price of it, but if it's over $1, I'll definitely add it to the patron pile. Hell, I might even add it to the patron pile just because it's a card of note from that Standard format. So we've got Born of the Gods next. Wasn't a God pack, right? Or was that Journey into Nyx that had the God packs? I don't remember. Archetype of Imagination, kind of a cool one. Creatures you control have flying. Creatures your opponents control lose flying and can't gain flying. Can't have or gain flying, so that's pretty cool. Thunder Brute. Drown in Sorrow. I know this was another good removal from this set. And Faded Return. This was they did a faded of every color, so they did one in each: white, blue, black, red, and green. And they each did a little bit something different, but they all cost like 3 of their mana color and then an X amount, like depending on how much. So like this one is 4 and 3 black. I think the red one was 1 and 3 red, so on and so forth, right? So they all had differing costs, but they all did a lot of different things. So this one is instant for 7 mana, which is a lot of mana. Put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. It gains indestructible. If it's your turn, scry 2. So if you cast it on your turn, it gets a... Wow. Okay, so if you had opened this, well, this set was in Standard at the time, you'd be laughing. Because Bile Blight was like a $3 or $4 uncommon at the time of Standard, this set. And I remember, because I was playing a lot of MTGO with a buddy of mine, and we complained because the deck that we had needed 3 copies of this, but we didn't want to pay like a whole bunch of money to get them. We were like, I can't believe that this card, because we were playing on MTGO and they were 3 tickets a piece, and it was like, I don't want to pay 3 tickets for one of these. So this is a foil copy. It's probably worth a bunch more, which is pretty cool. And I don't know if it's probably not worth as much now, but still pretty sweet. You would have been laughing if you'd opened it at Standard time. Pharos is next. We could have some sweet God play here, or we could have a Thoughtseize. I think Thoughtseize is in this set, right? Hunt the Hunter, Flamecast Wheel, Erebos' Emissary, and Steam Augury. Well, that's a card, I guess. Instant for 2 and a blue-red. Reveal the top 5 cards of your library and separate them into 2 piles. An opponent chooses one of those piles and put that pile into your hand and the others into your graveyard. And we got yet another junk token. That's 4 junk tokens in a row. My goodness. All right, Gatecrash. We can see Shocklands here. Not original Shocklands, but second printing Shocklands instead of third printing Shocklands, right? That's what we're looking for, I think. We got a Boros Keyrune, Homing Lightning, Incursion Specialist, and Merciless Eviction. Well, I mean, it's not a bad little card. It's a sweet removal spell because it's choose one. Exile all artifacts, or exile all creatures, or exile all enchantments, or exile all planeswalkers. This is a very versatile removal board wipe. So this probably still sees play, I would imagine, in Commander and things like that. So that's pretty nice. And we got we got a token this time instead of garbage. And we got a forest. So there you go. We opened up some interesting stuff for the patron pile this week. Maybe not. Maybe we missed a few of the hits we could have got, but that's okay. We still added a few things to the patron pile, and that's pretty sweet. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Don't forget, this was Flints, located in Kitchener, Ontario. If you want to go check out their store, the link should be below in the description. Or if you're in and around the area, make sure you go by and say hi. Tell them MrBevers sent you. I don't know if that'll do anything for you, but you can tell them. You can tell them. Anyway, thanks so much, everybody. And as always, may your pulls ever be better.